Hey! My cat will not leave me alone right now to record this video. Oh my gosh. That's actually kind of funny. I don't know why, but yeah, she's like hanging out by the door, and she was in here purring and meowing, and it was really actually quite adorable. But I have to do this video. What's up, comrades? Nightwolf here, and welcome to another video. I promised a video about these two Power Ranger figures, and you guys know me, I try my best to deliver for you. So, yes, I'm going to do a comparison of the Bandai Power Rangers Legacy Collection figure. This one is Andros, Red Space Ranger, and of our good buddy Tommy Oliver, because everybody loves Tommy, White Ranger from Mighty Morphin. Now, I'm going to state this real quick, actually. This was not my first pick for Lightning Collection that I wanted. The Walmart that I bought this at only had one Doggy Kruger and one Lord Zed. So, the only ones that were left was the White Ranger and Dino Charge Red. So, I was kind of stuck between Tyler and Tommy. And quite honestly, I prefer Tommy. It's just my own personal opinion. So, what we're going to do is we're going to crack these bad boys open. And we're going to do a comparison on what, and I'll basically say which one I think is better out of these two collection sets. Although these are discontinued, you won't see them anymore, but not from Bandai America. But still, I wanted to kind of compare old Power Ranger toy to a new one and see like how good they are in comparison. Like the articulation, how good are they? Do they look right? But before we do that, we actually have to open these bad boys up, and I just realized there's tape. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually open the Legacy figure first. Because actually I bought this thing a few years ago, and I've never opened it. Not once. So this is my first time. Oh, there's more tape. Failed unboxing, take 526. Nightwolf doesn't know how to open a box. There we go. That should do the trick. I don't think I'll have to worry about the Lightning figure because I already did that one. But for starters, package-wise, this is okay. I don't think it's too bad. I do like that you can't really see them in their entirety. You may have to adjust the camera. But I do like that these Legacy figures had like the combining Ranger Zord thing. That's something I really do like. It's unfortunate that the Lightning Collection does not have that feature, but it does come with a molded head of the Ranger's actor, so that's pretty cool. But I think I'd prefer the Zord, to be quite honest, because I don't really care that much for the face. I don't know if I like the faces yet. And I just realized this box is incredibly dusty. We're going to put that there. So inside we've got this. We've got Andros, we've got part of the Megazord, a blaster, and that seems to be it. Let's take the Zord out first, actually, because I don't know if I'll put these guys back in the box or not. Jesus Christ. Do you even come out? Okay. Points off for not being able to get this thing to get out of the box. This is bad. This is probably a nightmare for people. Where is my strength? I need power. There we go. Okay, I'm going to check this thing real quick. Well, it has a head articulation. Not a whole lot, but it does have some, which is pretty good. Considering that both of these figures are roughly $20 each. I don't know if the legacy figures have dropped in price or increased in price because they're discontinued, but this Zord isn't too bad. It's got really nice detail and whatnot. When you look at it, it's really show accurate and whatnot. It does look like a toy. A lot of it is just in plastic. It's not painted, so the detail stuff is painted, which is nice, but the regular coloring of the Zord is just like blue plastic, which is not super impressive. But if I can find all the rest of the Space Rangers, I'm probably going to put him together, and then I'll do a full review on him, because I'd actually like to do that. Now comes the question, can we take the other items out without fighting? Without too much of a hassle. Ah! Okay. We get a blaster, which is kind of nice, although I don't know, this looks more like, this doesn't look like Power Rangers in Space's blaster. I don't know, maybe it's because I don't really remember what their blasters look like. This looks more like the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger blaster. They look very similar, at least. And I guess we can put it in this lovely little holster that the figure comes with. No, okay, not bad, but we gotta get Andros out of here, so let's do that real quick. Gonna do it away from the camera. Ah! He's attached. Are you serious? Okay, that's really weird. There was a weird tie on the figure. It was holding his arm. Okay, let's get this. Does his arm not work properly? Or does it always pose like that? Okay, so here's the figure. Oh, sorry, knocked my camera. My bad. But yeah, here's the figure in its entirety. And couple of things. One, the arm right here. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so it was a little bit tough to get it to move in the direction I wanted it to move. Can we get him to do the bicep? Yeah! I'm buff! Actually, that is one of the problems that I have with the Legacy figures. All this detail with muscling is unnecessary. I mean, one, this figure is already pretty big and pretty sizable, but the muscles on the figure are highly unnecessary, because anybody who watches Power Rangers, even kids, know that Rangers are not really all that muscular in the suits and whatnot. They're kind of pretty basic. Oh wait, yeah, we should probably do that. Here, let's peg this thing in. Goes in pretty smoothly, though it does kind of hang off of him a bit oddly. But yeah, this is pretty basic. This, for a toy that's kind of a collector toy, that's like $20, which isn't a lot of money for a collectible toy, but he looks pretty cheap, to be honest. When you look at him, one, not only is all of the muscles and whatnot over-exaggerated on the figure, but he's not really well painted. Not terribly painted. Like, all the details are fine. They're really nice. But the rest of, considering that the rest of him is in normal red color, but the red that they chose to cast him in looks too much like a toy color. Like what you would buy for cheap. Because you can see back here we have my, we have Kamen Rider Kabuto, and his red is casted in better colors to make it more deep and vibrant. And these colors of red, this is clearly plastic. It is clearly really cheap color. It's not really very good. The helmet has you see, the helmet, if you look at it, I know there's a lot of reflective coloring, or there's a lot of light coming through, but if you look at it, this looks like it's painted. And it probably is. But if they were to have casted the whole figure in this type of red color, not only would he be more show accurate, basically, but it wouldn't look so cheap. Because he looks pretty cheap. So, before I actually go into comparisons on the two characters' articulations, let's take out the White Ranger here. Which, by the way, I like these boxes quite a bit. The other ones are nice, but they don't really stand out very much. They're just kind of a picture of the character, kind of a photo-generated picture. And the boxes are black with red lightning, which is kind of cool. I don't hate that. But this one looks very artistic, and I do appreciate that. You even get a nice picture of the figure standing. But the box is very nice. Also, it feels like these boxes take up less space. So if you wanted to keep your box, you can do that. So let's open. Oh, and it comes out so smoothly. There's like only one piece of tape on the box when I bought it, and I took that off last night. So we got we got the stuff. We got I appreciate that they give you an effect part. That's really cool. I don't know how I'm going to attach this onto Saba or anything, but we get that, and we have a couple of hands that I'm going to try and get out first before we get Tommy out. Hey, get out of there. Is Saba stuck in here? Okay, these things are coming out a lot easier than the other stuff. That is until I reach the head. Tommy's alternate head. Now, one thing I do know about the Lightning Collection figures is that some of them do have problems with, like, they're replacing the hands and whatnot. So I'm probably not going to do that with Tommy because I don't want to risk breaking the figure because I spent $20 on it. But here's the, can we get the camera to look at it? The mold of Tommy. Yeah, it looks pretty close to JDF, I would say. It looks a little weird, but pretty darn close. You know, for a figure that's only $20, that's pretty good. I'm never going to probably put the head on, but... or at least keep it on. I don't know if I'm going to try and put it on him or not. I'm afraid to be honest. But already, in comparison to Andros, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accessories for the figure for $20. This only technically came with one and the Zord, which I don't consider as an accessory for the figure. It's just a bonus, which isn't too bad. And look at Saba. I'm going to show the Saba Sword because this is really cool. I used to have a replica of the toy, and I love that thing. Oh. There may have been a couple of, like, paint mishaps on this one. Like, there's a part of it that's, the face that's painted in gold, but it's not on the other side. So, but a couple of blemishes isn't really a turn off or a negative, especially considering the price. Let's see if we can get Tommy out of here. Ah! Okay, the heads. The heads will roll, so to speak. Okay, so... well, his foot is a bit... What the... Excuse me? Okay, this is a problem. Did I get a defect figure or something? What the heck? Okay, now we're... This is a problem. His foot is not working correctly. That is very weird. I don't know if it's supposed to work that way or not. Because, dear God, that's a problem. Because his toe is literally staying up. And that's not how it should be. I don't know if it's a defect of the figure or... Because it looks like it has a joint to move it, but it's not really... Oh, it's a pivot. Okay. So I should be able to pivot the foot back into a forward position, maybe? No? I'm just trying to get Tommy to stand, and this video is already failing because... Okay, yeah, that's really weird. You can kind of see. I think I may have gotten a defective figure. His foot does not work. This foot right here does not work right. It's molded on wrong. Like, this one stays flush on the ground. This one does not. Which means that as a figure, he is going to have a hell of a time standing up. Which is a big negative. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put him back in the box. And I'm going to return him. And see if I can get a replacement. Because this shouldn't be happening. His foot is defective. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'll have to return him. Because if I try and stand him up side by side with Andros, it's just going to fall over. Which is not good. We want him to stand up. So I may consider that. Maybe I got a defective one. These are new, so... Yeah, I can't stand him up the way he should. Which is a little weird. But size comparison-wise, you can kind of see... This... Oh, he's kind of standing, but he's kind of like on a slanted toe. So he'll probably fall over if we're not careful. But yeah, as you can see, he's pretty... He's about roughly half a head shorter than Andros. Not by a large margin, but that's not too bad. That's not a negative. I actually prefer my figures to look a little bit smaller. They don't need to be this big. This one's big because they add all that muscle definition and crap on it that is unnecessary. But when we look at this one, when we look at Tommy, one, he's painted pretty well, which is good. And it's more show accurate. When you look at this figure, this looks like it came from the show. This doesn't look like a weird muscle-bound character wearing like a latex suit that doesn't have any wrinkles. Because this actually shows wrinkles like the uniforms normally do. So that's pretty good. I like that. It's more show accurate. And the characters... And he looks pretty good. The paint is pretty nice. This one has at least one blemish on the helmet, but I don't mind. Although I do mind about the messed up foot that doesn't work. Unless I can figure out what's going on. And we can even do the same thing we did with Andros. And put Saba in here, I'm assuming. If it will fit. There we go. There we go. Yeah, he fits. Which is pretty good. I do like that they give you all these... Oh my god. There we go. He could kind of do a salute. Salute, Ranger Nation. Yep, he can salute. That's kind of cool. Kind of goofy, but okay. Some of the joints are a little bit tight, but that's okay. It's not a deal breaker. But yeah, like I said, I like that they give you extra accessories. This figure gives you the character's actual weapon. This one does not. Andros does not get his kind of like drill-like saber, which is kind of a negative. I mean, you get the part of the Zord, but you miss out on having the saber. Instead of having the blaster, I'd prefer to have the saber, to be quite honest with you. But, I'm trying to get Saba out. What the heck? Was the pouch put on backwards or something? I don't know. Okay, Tommy, you can stop saluting now. My arm! Yeah, okay, so let's kind of look at the articulation for both figures just to kind of get a grasp on how good both of them are. This one can actually turn his whole head around if you want to. He can look up a bit. Actually, yeah, he can look up pretty far, and he can look down pretty far. He's got a ratchet in his arm, which is pretty good. Not bad, but it's really hard to get it back up. He's got a pretty decent bicep and a nice little wrist swivel. Not bad. He can crunch. Not so much back, but pretty much forward. He can kick pretty good. And he's got a double jointed elbow. His calf can swivel or move back, kind of rotate. And he does have a pivot in the foot, which is also pretty good. Not too shabby. How far can we spread his ass? Not bad. Pretty good. He's very flexible as a figure. That's a plus and a bonus, but I still can't get over the way he looks. It just does not look show accurate. That's the biggest disadvantage that this figure has compared to Tommy here. Is it just does not look show accurate enough for me. The muscles turn me off, and that's kind of why a lot of Power Rangers toys turned me off in the past, you know. It's just, they're just not as good as they could be. But, I mean, you can still probably put this guy into some pretty cool poses. I'm going to try and pose him a little bit so then I can kind of show them off a bit. But let's quickly check on Tommy's articulation here. Like his head. Although his armor and whatnot is going to probably be impeded by or his armor is going to impede probably his head movement a bit. Like how far back he can look, or how high up. Can't really look down too much, but it's still a pretty good head, and it could also rotate all the way around, but I'm not going to do that because I might have to return this figure. He's got ratcheting joints. It doesn't look like he can rotate his arm up very much, like the Andros figure does. It can go up a bit, but it doesn't seem to... Oh, wait. Yeah, it can go up. There we go. It's a little hard to see it. And his elbow joint is pretty good. Figure's hands are good. You can rotate and move around. He can crunch a bit, but not a lot. Probably because of the armor piece. Or I'm just screwing this up royally and not really doing it the way I'm supposed to. Oh, yeah, he can turn his waist around. So he's got a bit of a waist pivot thing, or a ab pivot. This one does not have that, from what I can tell. His legs can rotate side to side a bit. Not too shabby. The calf muscle itself can be rotated and moved around. His knee is double jointed. Very nice. He can kick pretty good. Not too shabby. You can rotate the foot. And a kind of ankle pivot. Spread. Not bad. Pretty good. His articulation is roughly the same. The only difference is the head articulation. Because Andros' head looks a lot like it can go up a lot higher than Tommy's can, but it's not exactly a big turn off for this figure. And also, I don't think that this one has an ab crunch. Really. It has a little bit of it, but it's kind of limited. But this figure does feels a lot better. It feels a lot better than this one. That one feels cheap. This one does not. This one feels like a lot of effort and time was put in to make this thing look as show accurate as possible. And I gotta give them credit for that. And now comes the question of, how do I put the sword in Tommy's hand? How do we put Saba in his hands? Can we do it while on camera? Probably not. Oh my god. These hands are not great. Wow, come on, Hasbro. That's going to be tricky. Now that that's kind of happening, I'm kind of curious, like, how hard will it be to get Andros to hold his gun that I was complaining about earlier, but I managed to get Andros's gun on. That's kind of a cool thing. He's now holding you guys hostage. He's now holding you up, but apparently also he can't stand up very well for some reason. Also, the gun, it feels disproportionate to the rest of the figure. Since the figure is so big, this blaster looks too tiny in his hand. Because his hand is freaking huge. It's almost half the size of the blaster itself. It's a little bit of a disadvantage, I would say. Okay, well, we got Saba in Tommy's hands, kind of. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can... Yeah, this does not feel good. But there it is. It's in his hands, kind of. I know some people would probably recommend like a blow dryer or something probably to loosen this figure and whatnot. To like loosen the joints and whatnot. But I think like with adequate enough play you could probably get to there. Unless the joints are really, really bad. And I'm really nervous to like take the helmet off. Because I'm afraid that the toy will break if I do that. And considering it already has this disability with its foot, I don't want to risk that. Because, yeah, I think that something happened in manufacturing that broke this toy. And if I can't return it and get my money back, I will be sorely disappointed. But, overall, I like this one better, because it feels better. This one is good, especially if you like really nice articulation. It's not bad. The only thing that I would say is that the proportions are wrong. That's about all I can really say. Oh, we can put the... I found the place where it goes on the sword, guys. I think. But without any instructions, it's hard to say for sure if I can get this to stay on. Yep, there it is. Doesn't feel like it's the most secure of fits, to be honest. But hey, at least it works. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to put these figures in some poses, or in a pose, and I will check back with you guys in just a moment. Now, as we can clearly see, we got the figures in some posing. They're not the best of poses, mainly because I can't really pose figures like off the top of my head, but overall they pose pretty well. This one, not quite as good because it is a chore to move him around. He's very stiff. I don't know if that's a defect of the figure that I got, or if this is a common trend with the Lightning figures and you just need to kind of work them around a bit and kind of loosen up the joints to the point where they can, you know, move around a little bit more freely. I mean, he stays on pretty solidly, to be honest. But I don't know. It's not bad. Both of these kind of have negatives. This one, the joints are a lot better because you can easily move him around right out of the box. Doesn't take a lot of wiggle work to make him do what you want him to do. But like I said before, he looks a lot cheaper. This one, it definitely looks better, but the joints are a little bit harder to work with, which is kind of a negative and kind of a problem. Especially considering that this one still probably has that foot problem. Or maybe it's just the way I've been posing it. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But anyway, I'm going to kind of get them into a battle pose against one another for a thumbnail, and I will be right back. Okay, well, now we got these guys in some good fighting poses and whatnot. I think that that's pretty good. To be quite honest, I don't know which one I like better entirely. I think that the Tommy one is significantly better, to be quite honest with you. But overall, both have their merits. Of course, one is a discontinued line like this one, and this is the new one. But I am a little disappointed by this one. I don't know if it's the figure itself and I got a defective one, or if it's something else entirely. I'm not really sure. But overall, both are pretty decent. This one is better because it's show accurate, but the joints and whatnot do kind of... They're kind of a bit of a disappointment. So I'm not sure if I'm 100% sold on this line just yet. I'm going to go back to the Walmart because they did have another Tommy, and I'm going to check to see if it has a similar foot problem. If that's just kind of the thing that it has, it's supposed to have it, or if I got a defective product. But anyway, with that of course said and done out of the way, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please, as always, do not forget to leave me a like, shoot me a comment, subscribe if you're new here. I greatly appreciate the help and support. Toy reviews. Never thought I'd really do one before, but hey, we're kind of doing one, and we got Gundam back here to approve of this video, okay? And to kind of make the determining factor. We'll get his final thoughts here in a second, but thank you all so much for watching this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Do not forget to raise your nerd flags high. And I'll see you next time. Nightwolf is out.